Good morning, Sonny Hayes from Paranormal Investigation UK. Today's date's the 18th of February 2022 and a very windy day in UK. A storm Eunice is struck home. Looks like we're stuck with this for the rest of the day. Won't be going anywhere, so I'm going to crack on and get as much done as I possibly can. Quick update on a couple of unusual captures we got in the main office. We had an issue here which was resolved with when we discovered that the business owner had fitted a security light to that outside of the building. Came on when things like birds, that type of thing, because it just covers a grassed area and a wooded area, so wildlife was what was triggering it. Suddenly we began to get this here, another light, anomaly on the right hand side of the window. Learning the lesson of that window, checks were made, and sure enough, this is security light being fitted there. Quite difficult to see, so we are able to debunk that particular one. So I thought I'd just mention that for those of you that are following the case in Chester. We're now on movie 389. Now, in normal circumstances, what we've had here is these what are called cat balls. They've been around for some time in the building, certainly since about March, April of 2020, when they first started to come onto the market. This is before we got involved with the case, and the owner was experiencing unusual phenomena and decided to put these cat balls in different places. And initially what got us involved with the case is these balls have been thrown about, physically moved. Then we started to have occasions where the lights, these trigger balls, would simply just light up for no reason. Now, moving on, year and a half, 18 months since they first using these. In fact, we were getting up to 2 years. What the people are saying is that what should light them up is vibration. The ball should move, and that's what brings the lights on. If they're not moving, the light shouldn't come on, but if they do come on, it's got to be a fault or sensitivity within the ball itself. We have checked these early days because I was deeply suspicious of I'm suspicious with any sort of measuring cheap devices that apparently do certain things such as EMF or vibration and shadow sensoring, that type of stuff. So you've got to be careful. And what I've basically been doing with these things is to just simply record the fact that they're occurring. I'm far from convinced that the balls are significant. If the ball's stationary and suddenly gets flung around the counter, that's an whole different ball game. But I'm just sitting there, and this is what happens. It doesn't appear to move. There's no movement there. Now, the reason why there's 3 of these here is why I'm interested is get the times right. This is 1924. Yeah, 1924. That's 1924. This is a little bit later, I think. Yeah, this is 1952. So, 1924, which is some 30 minutes before the ball lights up Now this is what we call camber 2, and there's an actual a third camera there. They're called camber 3, which is that camera there. There's also one being placed on the window ledge. This is one that you can look at now, because we're starting to get a considerable amount of activity around this particular area. This camera sort of covers a fair degree. That camera looks outside the window, although the microphone is facing in. So we put another camera that runs across the window ledge, which is what you're looking at here. Camera 1 is above there, just out of sight, which is fastened under the window. That's how this one's working. Now what we have with this particular one is we have a wrap. So let's just play that through. There. So surprisingly, that is what triggered the camera. That sound. I'm just going to watch this all the way through. I just want to make sure that the balls don't light up. That looks okay. Right, I've just paused it right on as the sound, the wrap sound is heard. So the exact time of this is 19:24:37 seconds. That's the exact time. 19:24:37. Finding myself a pen. Right, that's that done. So what we have got as well is, I should shut that one down, is this is the window camera. This is quite close to it as well, and this has in fact picked it up. So what we're looking at now is the other one was 19:24:37. This in principle should give us the same wrap at exactly the same time. Yeah, a little about a second out, I think that. Yeah, it's a second out, so it's 19:24:36. A second out, we're not too bothered. So what we can say is the sound was picked up by both cameras, so it's not. I'm pretty confident that will not be a camera glitch, some internal problem, which we have been suspecting before, because both cameras have picked them up, both working independently of one another. So the way that I'm going to work with this now is I'm just going to go through this one where this might just be a case. It's 19:34 that the rap is heard. You know, this is 30 minutes afterwards. It can't be relevant. I will note it down. I'm just going to try and listen, make sure there's nothing else in there. making sure we've got all the volumes turned up. I am on amplified headphones as well. No. So I think with that one, it's just a question of recording that event with a big suspicion. I'm not convinced with these cat balls anymore. Not movement. If they see them move, then that's different. If he doesn't move and he flashes, then they tend to be discounted. But I think the important thing is when you investigate and you complete your reports, because this at the moment we're running into 500-600 pages. It's important that you put everything down. So don't just put the stuff that's positive. Put it all down, and it shows people just how much effort you put into a particular capture to prove one way or the other. So that's definitely got more of a rational explanation. So what we're going to do now is to grab the frequency of both yeah, I think we've got that right. Just check the time, 1934. 24, I should say. Yeah. Right, so we've got the right movie. We know there's nothing on there to be seen, so we can actually delete that. We can see clearly there the sound that we're interested in. Bring the analyzer up. Again, I'm not going to amplify it. I prefer not to. We'll see if we can get a fix on there. That is a wrap. Looking rapish. No. The general wraps that we get just seem to cover where that spike is there. If you imagine that just like one tower of frequency, 800 to 1000 Hz, there's a bit too many reflections on there. I'd be interested to see what the other was like. So we'll take a screenshot of this. I'm going to call this Cam 2B. Okay. Let's bring another video track in. And just repeat the process really. This is the camera 2, I should say. Okay. Okay, just clear that. Okay, just a question of playing. Very similar. No amplification at all. Which you would expect them to be similar. They're approximately 2 foot apart, probably. This is Cam 1. Okay, let's get a shot of that. Okay, so that's camera 1, that's the one on the window. and that's the one on the window ledge. Very, very similar, not exact because they're in different positions. So it's always interesting. So what I'm actually going to do with this is quite straightforward. This is just a simple question of recording. There's nothing for us to investigate with this. We can't see anything, nothing to be seen. It's all audible. So in that case, we just simply record up. This is the frequency of cam 1 of the ramp. This is the one with the other one. I'm not convinced it's a rap. It's not seen to be frequency-wise in rap territory. I know the other issue is obviously the ball that lights up at 1952. I'll just record that down as a matter of fact. So, and that's it. So hopefully very shortly you'll see me on movie 390. Okay, bye.